personal failing. Your soul remembers a fundamental truth. Peace isn't born of control. Alignment surpasses effort. The path unfolds when you cease forcing it. You aren't failing. You're mastering a skill most spend a lifetime struggling to conquer. The counterintuitive law that liberates when you relinquish chasing and embrace allowance. How, then, can deepest desires be realized? Most are conditioned to believe success stems from toil, discipline, and relentless pursuit. Yet, ancient wisdom, mystical traditions, and modern psychology reveal a paradox few dare acknowledge. Excessive effort repels the very thing sought. This is the paradox of effort, the key to understanding the counterintuitive law. Let's examine the impact of intense desire. Whether it's love, wealth, health, or spiritual enlightenment, the energy of fervent wanting generates a potent emotional charge. While natural, this charge often blends with anxiety, fear of failure, impatience, and mental strain. This obsession with a specific outcome creates performance anxiety. Instead of enhancing skills, this anxiety clouds judgment, tenses the body, disrupts breathing, and hinders intuition. The pursuit of victory inadvertently makes it harder to achieve. Alan Watts, a British philosopher who extensively interpreted Zen Buddhism for Western audiences, illustrated this with remarkable clarity. He observed that directly pursuing happiness breeds misery because the pursuit itself emphasizes its absence. Similarly, chasing relaxation induces tension by forcing a state that arises organically. Watts concluded that genuine success often emerges not from forcing outcomes, but from releasing control and allowing natural unfolding. This isn't solely philosophical speculation. It's deeply rooted in spiritual traditions. Ancient Buddhist texts, especially those from the secluded Ladakh and Tibetan monasteries, taught that intense striving for enlightenment obstructs it. A secret sutra proclaims, "The seeking mind is blind, the closing eyes see." This principle teaches that spiritual awakening, like many achievements, arises when striving dissolves, leaving pure presence. The effort to reach a destination creates an illusion of distance. In reality, there's nowhere to arrive. Everything is already present. Modern psychology corroborates this through the study of cognitive dissonance. When a strong desire clashes with the fear of not achieving it, the brain enters a stressful state of contradiction. This internal conflict drains mental energy, leading to exhaustion, procrastination, self-sabotage, and sometimes complete motivational collapse. Individuals trapped in this dissonance often feel cursed, perplexed by the inverse results of their intense efforts. They rarely recognize the self-created curse. The act of grasping too tightly causes the dream to slip away. From a spiritual perspective, a deeper explanation lies in the law of energy resistance. What you resist persists. When your soul emits frequencies of desperation, clinging, or fear, the universe mirrors that energy. The more intensely you vibrate with, "I must have this, or I'll suffer," the more the universe reinforces that suffering. It's not punishment, but resonance, like attracts like. You aren't denied because of unworthiness, but because your vibration broadcasts lack, and the universe reflects that back. The secret wisdom of the Essenes, ancient mystics contemporary with Christ, offers a mystical interpretation. They taught that desire, fueled by personal will, resembles a raging fire, consuming the soul's clarity and distorting vision. However, desire tempered by trust and patience transforms into magnetic attraction, naturally drawing the desired outcome. One of their surviving fragments states, "He who drinks from the cup of striving will thirst existence, exhibiting grace, patience, and inner stillness. In our fast-paced world, this wisdom is paramount. Society glorifies hustle culture, relentless striving, without recognizing that true mastery and fulfillment arise from effortless alignment, not obsessive pursuit. One who knows when to act and when to refrain becomes like an archer releasing an arrow without strain, ensuring a true trajectory. The first key to the counterintuitive law is simple yet profound. The less you grasp, the more you receive. The less you force, the more you flow. The less you try, the more you achieve. Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action, is about accomplishing much by doing less. This may seem absurd to a mind conditioned to believe success demands relentless effort. Yet Taoist masters understood that true power originates not from force, but harmony. Wu Wei doesn't mean passive inaction. It means acting without undue strain, forcing, or grasping. It's an inner state of clarity, openness, where action emerges naturally, like a bird's flight or a tree's growth. In Wu Wei, the distinction between actor and action vanishes. Action happens through you, not by you. Ancient Taoist masters used water as an analogy for Wu Wei. Water, soft and yielding, overcomes the most formidable obstacles. It doesn't resist life's flow. It adapts, moves, and ultimately shapes mountains. Its power lies not in aggression, but in supreme flexibility and patience. A secret text from the Mon Caves declares, "The wise person moves with the current, not against it." Their strength is in yielding, their triumph is in humility. This principle has a scientific parallel in modern neuroscience, the flow state. This mental state involves complete immersion in an activity with focused energy, full engagement, and deep enjoyment. In this state, the brain releases neurochemicals, dopamine, norepinephrine, and endorphins, enhancing creativity, problem solving, and physical performance. Athletes, artists, writers, and inventors often report their greatest achievements occurred not through greater effort, but when in the zone, when work felt effortless. Flow isn't forced. It arises naturally with a clear goal, immediate feedback, and a balance between skill and challenge. The ego dissolves, the inner critic silences, and action unfolds spontaneously. This scientific finding confirms the Taoist intuition of millennia past. Effortless action is the secret to supreme achievement. As the Tao Te Ching states, when nothing is done, nothing is left undone. This enigmatic line signifies that when you cease fighting life and trust its unfolding, the right actions emerge naturally, and desired results arrive with surprising ease. The second key to mastering the counterintuitive law is revealed. Acting without forcing allows entry into life's flow. You achieve more by doing less. You progress by standing still. You win by surrendering. Why do intensely desired things often elude us? Why does a fervent wish for peace induce anxiety? Passionate longing for love bring loneliness, and an obsessive hunger for success breed failure. The answer lies in the law of reversed effort. First articulated by French psychologist Émile Coué, and later expanded upon by Aldous Huxley, this law states, the harder you consciously strive, the less likely success, especially when emotions are involved. Humans possess a conscious and a subconscious mind. The conscious mind operates through willpower, intention, and focused effort. I will make this happen. However, the subconscious governs most behaviors, emotions, and physiological responses, and it resists force. It responds to imagery, belief, and feeling. When conscious will clashes with subconscious doubt, fear, or resistance, an internal causes wakefulness. The command to be confident triggers insecurity. The subconscious interprets effort as proof of the desired state's absence, reinforcing that absence. As Rumi said, "Try not to resist changes, let life live through you." The law of reversed effort explains why many spiritual practices emphasize letting go instead of holding on. Surrender over conquest, being overdoing. The moment you stop demanding from life, you create space for life to offer gifts freely. The moment you release your grip, you allow life's current to carry you to unimaginable places. The third key to the counterintuitive law is revealed. By releasing desperate desire, you eliminate inner opposition. Letting go of the struggle creates space for fulfillment. Ceasing struggle unleashes your greatest power. At the core of the world's profound mystical teachings lies surrender, not weakness, but the highest intelligence. True surrender is the merging of the individual soul with the universal intelligence governing all things. The force effortlessly spinning planets, growing forests, and beating hearts. When disconnected from this intelligence, life feels like a struggle. But through surrender, through releasing control, we align with existence's deeper flow. Life becomes a symphony, and we become both instrument and music. The Bhagavad Gita illuminates this truth, where Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna to renounce not action, but attachment to outcomes, performing duty with equanimity, the essence of yoga. In Himalayan monasteries, masters taught Ishvara Pranidhana, surrender to the Supreme Being. Aspirants release fear, desire, and ambition to become vessels of grace, liberated from controlling life. Modern psychology echoes this ancient wisdom in radical acceptance. Healing starts not through resistance, but through compassionate acceptance of what is. Resistance binds, acceptance liberates. At a deeper level, surrender unlocks miracles, unexpected blessings far beyond willpower's reach. In mystical Christianity, surrender to divine will is the path to grace, a transformative power transcending logic. As Meister Eckhart said, the soul must surrender entirely to God to become God. Surrender isn't poetic idealism, it's metaphysical law. It moves you from ego to infinite consciousness, from fear to inspiration, from struggle to renewal. True power lies not in control and illusion, but in union with the source. When surrender is complete, life cooperates, doors open, allies appear, intuitive insights flash, even great challenges dissolve in divine timing. This isn't childish magic, but the natural order flowing through an open soul. The fourth key to the counterintuitive law is revealed. Surrendering your will to a greater will unlocks access to a field of intelligence, love, and power beyond your imagination. Giving up the illusion of control grants freedom to live a life of grace, flow, and true fulfillment. Beyond striving and surrender, at the spiritual path's final stage, lies non-resistance, not a method, but a state of being. When mastered, struggle ceases and life becomes an ally. Resistance is an inner no to what is, tension, judgment, fear, born from the ego's illusion that life must conform to its desires. It fuels suffering. Like a Chinese finger trap, the more you resist, the more you're bound. Non-resistance isn't defeat, but powerful allowance, meeting the moment without grasping or pushing away. It's alert surrender, a deep inner yes, trusting that each experience is part of a higher, unseen order. Zen masters call this Mushin, the frictionless mind. The awakened one bows to joy and sorrow alike, recognizing both as expressions of the eternal. Similarly, Julian of Norwich saw through suffering to the deeper harmony beneath. all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. Non-resistance doesn't mean inaction. It means acting from clarity, not compulsion. When the mind is still, right action flows like a reflection in water, not reactive, but true. In esoteric Egypt and Hermetic schools, initiates trained in inner balance, knowing only a resistance-free soul could channel higher forces. Even quantum physics suggests the observer shapes reality. Resistance breeds chaos. Acceptance brings coherence. The mystics were correct. Your inner state shapes your world. Through non-resistance, you stop battling life and become its co-creator. Life flows not because it changed, but because you did. The final luminous key to the counterintuitive law is revealed. By ceasing to resist life, you allow life to bless you. Embracing each moment with an open heart turns every challenge into a portal for growth, every sorrow into a doorway to joy, and every loss into a greater gain. You realize life was never your enemy. It was always your secret ally, waiting for your yes.